moon over medium rare. The enemy species had been watching Earth for millennia. Perched in the shadowy reaches of the Kuiper Belt, their outposts floated like silent sentinels, monitoring every squabble, every invention, and every catastrophic misuse of fireworks on the 4th of July. To them, Earth wasn't a fascinating cradle of life or a unique miracle of biology. It was dinner. For the Sheathrix, a species so old they forgot the word for new and had to borrow it from someone they ate, humans were a delicacy in the making. The Sheathrix weren't drooling savages. No, they were connoisseurs, galactic gourmands with a particular fondness for a species that reached the tipping point of technological arrogance. The Sheathrix had a simple rule: no cooking the goose before it learns how to fly to space. Or in Earth terms, they couldn't eat us until we achieved interstellar travel. Galactic rules. Very civilized. And oh, how those rules tickled them. Watching humanity scramble toward the stars was like watching a toddler build a tower of blocks, only to smash it down in a tantrum. We thought we were destined for greatness. The Sheathrix knew we were destined for garnish. The Sheathrix, a closer look. Picture an arachnid fused with a jellyfish and dressed for a black tie gala. The Sheathrix had shimmering, semi-translucent carapaces beneath which their internal organs pulsed with bioluminescent light. They stood on 6 spindly legs, each tipped with delicate claws, capable of crafting symphonies or slicing a roast. Their faces, or rather the cluster of iridescent eyes and chittering mandibles that passed for faces, exuded a sense of detached superiority. Sheathrix technology was as elegant as it was terrifying. Their ships were alive, biomechanical constructs that pulsed and breathed like living things. A single vessel could fold space around itself like origami, appearing anywhere in the galaxy in an instant. Their weapons didn't fire beams or bullets, they rearranged molecular structures, turning enemies into clouds of decorative mist. Their outposts were floating ecosystems, self-sustaining and brimming with culinary experimentation. The Sheathrix had spent thousands of years perfecting the recipes they would use on humanity. Barbecued sapiens with a side of seared arrogance. Homo sapiens sashimi with wasabi ego. They could hardly wait. The Greys' role in the cosmic comedy. The Greys were never truly meant to be. They were tools, biological drones, empty shells created to be remotely controlled by their makers. But in the chaos of their creators' final moments, something unexpected happened. When their planet faced annihilation, its surface cracking under the onslaught of a relentless enemy, a desperate group of the alien species made a fateful choice. They abandoned their bodies, casting their consciousnesses into the waiting vessels of their drones. Their physical forms, fragile and irrelevant in the face of destruction, were left behind to die. Their minds, however, were thrown into the waiting drones aboard a colossal spacecraft, a hollowed-out moonship designed for escape, survival, and battle. This moon wasn't just a ship, it was an extension of their collective consciousness. They didn't simply pilot it, they were it. Using a form of telepathic possession akin to remote viewing, they controlled the ship's orientation, its trajectory, and even its speed. Slowly and deliberately, they guided it through the void, evading their enemies and arriving in orbit around Earth. The Greys weren't a new species, they were their creators in new forms. Disembodied minds, tethered eternally to their biological drones and their enormous moonship. And as they settled near Earth, they set their sights on survival, not just for themselves, but for a future they believed they could control. Humanity was their masterpiece, their bait, and their hope. They had crafted humans from the local fauna, merging their genetic material with Earth's existing species to create a hybrid capable of exploring the surface and advancing technologically. The goal wasn't noble. It wasn't to uplift humanity or share knowledge. It was to prepare them for a trap, a baited hook that would draw their ancient enemy into a fight the Greys believed they could win. But humanity wasn't progressing fast enough. Every decade spent arguing over borders or reality TV was a decade wasted. So the Greys intervened, implanting subtle ideas into the minds of humanity's leaders. You must show strength, they whispered into the dreams of scientists and politicians. You must prove your technological superiority. Fake it if you must. And so, under the weight of this mysterious, subconscious compulsion, humanity faked its greatest achievement. Rockets were built, astronauts trained, and broadcasts staged. A soundstage in Nevada became the site of humanity's most convincing fabrication, the moon landing. The world watched in awe as man walked on the moon. The Greys had no intention of letting humanity reach the moon for real. Allowing humans to set foot on the moonship would risk exposing their secrets, the truth of their existence, their plans, and the very nature of the moon itself. But the illusion of progress, that was something they could use. The Zithrix, of course, saw through the ruse immediately. "They're pretending," one Sheathrix commander chittered, its iridescent mandibles clicking with laughter. "They're like hatchlings, puffing themselves up to look larger than they are. Do they think we'll fall for it?" The Greys weren't trying to fool the Zithrix entirely. They were trying to provoke them. They believed that if the Zithrix saw humanity appearing to reach for the stars, the ancient predators might strike prematurely, triggering the trap the Greys had spent millennia perfecting. Their gamble was a dangerous one. If the Zithrix took the bait before the trap was fully ready, the Greys and humanity alike would be annihilated. But desperation has a way of making even the most calculated plans reckless.